Hello?
Hi.
Be more glamorous, could it? Man coming home with a bucket, fear not. Money's going on what's inside. Before I start my lecture today, I'd like to remind you, please turn off your cell phones. Don't be that guy, okay? Also, no flash photography, okay? Let's knock that out. All right, welcome. I'm Toby. I'm a psychiatrist, I'm afraid. My father was a heart surgeon, and when I told him that I wanted to specialize in psychiatry, he said, "Oh, really? The Cinderella of medicine." You know, because Dad didn't believe in psychiatry, Freud, being motivated by your parents, but I was determined to prove him wrong. See what? Right. I do think I vanquished my father in a way because I didn't want to be I didn't want to be a heart surgeon. I didn't want to be a plumber of the body. I wanted to be an explorer. So I became a psychiatrist. And like all doctors, you find that your chosen specialty is defined by what goes wrong. When the brain goes wrong, there are symptoms and there are physical causes as with anything else. But because we think with our brain, we struggle to frame it as the complex piece of biological machinery that it is. Now, we're more than happy to have a heart transplant or a liver transplant. We can't imagine a brain transplant because we think our soul is in there. But you see, that little sense of us is only a small part of what's going on at any moment. Now, ma'am, what's your name? It's you. Georgia. Georgia. Now, Georgia, as you sit listening to me right now, your brain is generously taking care of the basics to keep you alive. Your heart's pumping, breathing, but it's also regulating other things so you don't have to consciously be aware of them. Temperature, knowing the sound of the person breathing next to you, passing food through your gut, that guy knows what I'm talking about. Adjusting your spinal column in your chair, which doesn't look too comfortable, sir, and I'm very sorry. It doesn't look comfortable at all. I apologize about that.
Here from the lawyer.
I'll give you my card after the show. Actively thinking about these things doesn't help, but the brain is generously taking care of it. And if we suffered a neurological oddity that meant we could swallow, we'd see nothing wrong with repairing it and addressing it in the brain. There are diseases of the brain. Now, ever since we've been able to start mapping and scanning the brain in the last quarter century, we're much closer to understanding its functions and its malfunctions. And rather than have people feel they're crazy or incapable or dangerous in soul, we're here to show them what they really are. Ill. We need to consider mental illness the same way we do the bodily kind, because it is a bodily kind. Our body sometimes needs medication. Those who suffer mental illness are not weak. They are strong enough to help themselves. They know what they're experiencing is not normal, and they need our support. And why don't we start by expanding this idea of normal to include mental illness anyway? We are, many of us, going to experience a mental health condition in our lives. Why are we still tied to this notion of the sane and the insane? Why not call ourselves the insane and the not insane at the moment? We are facing an everyday epidemic. Depression is fast becoming the largest cause of disability in the world. This is why medical intervention is so important. My father used to say about surgery that it's only love that makes it anything, except the act of two madmen. That's how I feel about medication. It's love. That means we treat people so that they can live at home in the community rather than locked away. And it's love. It's trust. That means that people don't lose their jobs or their children because they have a bout of depression. The psychopharmacological revolution is the most important occurrence in medicine in my lifetime. And I am proud to have been a part of that. My father lived just long enough to see it. He ran 3 miles a day into his 70s, didn't touch red meat. What got him in the end? It was right here. But in one of his more lucid moments, my father decided to donate his brain to science. So thank you, Dad. Because of people like you, the Cinderella of medicine, can finally go to the ball.